Hey guys, Runbuck with Runbuck on Games. Got another edition of 3-star Locksmith. So yeah, if I slowed down, I say it correctly. Episode 3. We are taking a look at a base from our war with Sunny Warriors. They're number 2. Here it is. You can kind of gander at it. And you can see there I ended up getting with the plan I had, 65%. Why don't we just go ahead and play that for starters, and then as usual, we'll begin to iterate to try to see how to evolve that into being a 3-star flow. As always, if you think there's a better way to do it from the way you think I'm approaching it, would love to see your comments down below, because it always helps me question why I'm thinking about the way I'm doing. Anyway, let's take a look at my walloping 2-star, which is actually above average for me, right? Anyway, here we go. So I think what I was trying to do is a pretty ornate cut action, but notice this Tesla came up, and I really couldn't have anticipated that. But the goal was, I saw kind of a hole there for I thought I could get basically a cut lane done with just loons. Ended up not working out. So at that point, I'm trying to move in, and then I was going to do another cut lane with just some loons from this side. But again, he kind of foils that plan with another Tesla. So if I was going to pause, pause. So if I was going to pause, I did get the flow, but see how I lost because of that Tesla staying up. I lost and maybe it wouldn't have mattered. Maybe that cut wasn't deep enough, but I'd lost what I wanted was the troops to go in here. That really would have done quick work with both of these being the key assets of the defense system, and then I would have powered through in theory over to this side. With the rage that I still had there and such. So really, once they decided to do the stage right here, I knew it was over. But really, where he broke me was the Teslas themselves. So let's finish it out. And you can watch me cry as it's not really crying, and I don't even know if that would work by pushing the middle. Would I have had, the amount of power? Because it's a pretty big middle, and usually when you're that spread, you can't really. It's too broad of a front. It's too much shots taking from every side. So I don't know if that actually will work. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and drop this fancy pants loon action that I was trying, and I'm just going to go back to more of a classical trying to do a walk and try to. Well, let's just look at the base. That may be a little better. There it is. So maybe because this, look at me go here. Because let me line the side. So this here is really weak to queen. So if I was going to say queen, and I'm saying that because I get too deep. See how it's stacked? Queen walk could really clear that corner. And this side's kind of just weak because of the way it's set up. Wait, let's take a look at. Well, let me pick that AD. It sure will. So I don't know. Maybe a queen walk, what I'm trying to do, but use just a queen walk to kind of go this way if I can get her to flow the right direction. And we don't want to model that, so I'll just mess with it. But ideally, we queen walk and we get her to reach the entry. And I guess what you could really do is just queen walk her, either just start her in the middle, and whichever direction she goes, because it's kind of symmetrical, we don't care, which side she does, but we want to come back to her. So whichever way she decides to run, then we'll hit one of these two sides, and maybe like this side I could probably bowler this down, like with a king fronted on bowler this thing down with a bowler push, and I might get lucky and that might actually walk back as well, but if not, so be it. And then push up to the mid, which is a little better, although it feels a lot the same actually when you look at it. And then this one up here is really more, I just need to get the king in and just let him go crazy in here. So I need some wall breakers. I have that 4, which is fine for this side. This side I don't need necessarily this bowlers. I'm short on bowlers though. Well, actually, this is the mix I used for the war. So, and it's also, we've already started the attack. Anyway, so let's give it a shot, and then like I said, I'll usually replay things, and we'll just go from there. All right, here we go. Okay, I've done a few iterations. I think I'm on iteration 3, 2, and what I'm seeing is that it is an easy cut for the queen, a queen-based walk with the warden backing. But what I'm not getting out of it is a lot of enough energy to push through to this backside. Now, granted, I could have done a little bit better when you see the placement of some of the jumps and stuff. Like that jump could have been deeper to give access to the thing, but I don't know if it matters because really the jump I need is across to this other expo. So maybe I'll try it one more time, trying to see if a crossover jump would help. Or maybe I just need to bring her in. What if I just let her come in by herself, still walking till I get to here? I don't know. I don't think that'll work. Let me play around some more. Hold on. Okay, so I'll give you an update. I think I'm about 20 iterations in now. I've kind of left the, as you look at the base, this is the same base, just kind of laid out as in trap view. But I've moved away from trying to move through this direction with the queen walk, and I decided to kind of focus on this because see how really you got that whole section here where it's really queen walk is easier. Of the bowler walk versus queen walk, I do queen if you can do it, and this gives you a nice run that you can potentially take advantage of. I guess the only other thing that I'm switching now is I'm trying. So as they come into this channel, I'm playing with the idea of not diving in because I think this base is really set up to not really give you anything. So what I'm trying to do is power by with the Tome and use the use miners. And I'll show you that last attack. It didn't work out exactly right, but I'll just kind of give you the sense for where it is exact. Is this the last one I did? Yeah, I think so. Here, I'll show you that one. So you kind of get a sense for the flow. But it's got a really nice queen walk to it, so I think that's probably the weakness of the base is its backside. And so then the question becomes, well, how do I solve this interior? Because if you dive it, it's pretty big, so your troops spread, which is what they want. So here you can see I'm trying to tome past and then use the miners to come in, but then the CC took me out. So I'm going to try, working on pre-triggering the CC and dealing with that during the walk because we've got time and see how that goes. So, all right, hey guys, slept on it and as you can see, was out in the rain, so my hair is a little wonky. But I switched to over the evening. I was thinking, that queen walk followed by the bowler mass. I don't know if that's the best for this style of base. In that when you're in the core, what you want the bowler mass to have is really good shot distance in terms of everything they shoot, they're getting a doubles. And then really this randomness pattern internally is not going to work well in there. And then you'll notice on the external side, there's different buildings that will or will not enable a nice bowler chuck. So this base actually might be anti-mass bowler. So then I switched. I thought, let's try miner. So I started with mass miner. That wasn't working too, where you kind of deploy on a line and then, like we're clash with ashes, bang, open it up, all that jazz. And it really wasn't working well with that either on different angles. So then I switched to what I showed you here and did a few iterations of this. And I got the 3-star. Now I'm going to continue to test, but let's take a look at that. Let's go ahead and play it. And you can see I'm still doing the queen walk because one of the things I noticed with the mass miner is I had a lot of time left and yet I was ending up with more mass or number of buildings in the back. So I was like, why don't I use that time with something that's kind of good survivability? The other thing I noticed, you saw I did the trigger. I dropped one of my miners for a hog because dealing with the CC, especially when there's a baby drag, even though I didn't get it out this time and it ended up working anyway. And then this was a uniqueness of it. Instead of trying to force let me just pause that right there. Instead of trying to force the usual cut and then a finger action, I really kind of just, it was a very compressed area. And what I used to create the separation for the miners was just the King Rage with Valks from the CC. And that seemed to be sufficient. I mean, as long as I cast behind, and I'm going at the corner. The other thing I've noticed is that this attack versus the other ones, I'm tending to come in at the corner versus the other ones were kind of, because I was worried about the eagle, I was coming in broadside. With any of the walks that I did this way, ended up doing a broadside action across, which isn't ideal because then the miners would come in and then be broadsided by both eye towers, or very hard to control their pathing because you were kind of spreading out. So I think this is important. This, the classic don't broadside the Infernos. So maybe I'll do a test with trying to do a walk this direction and then try to come in and then do the same minor action. So because that queen flipping back this way, this is more of a reaction attack. The queen actually reversed field and went the different direction I wanted. But yeah, and so those will be the things. I think we'll do some more tests. So I'll show you those. But let me finish out the attack here. You can kind of see it flow after this. But we're really at this point we're just doing the basic. We tomed for the first Inferno, then raged it, then we healed between the two, then we tried to use rage. Actually, that was a badly placed rage, so we could even do a little better. But the line of pathing was such that, really we got good value, and we had that nice clear team. Those barbarians, look at them, still got some barbarians running around from the king. So it was it might have been a little bit of luck because this team had nice supporting action. And also they got the distract from the core because that group was shooting in, I bet. But you can see it's got a lot of finish power. There's a lot of miners left. I would say, what do you think? Looks like about 10 of the original 30, which is a solid number for the tail end. And what was the time on that? 30 seconds remaining, so it wasn't a time issue either. So there you go. Like I said, we'll do some more then. So hang on, we'll test out if we can make this consistent. Okay, we're back, and further pondering, I've decided that the miner, at least on this base, is too unstable. I mean, I couldn't really recreate that 3-star, at least not consistently. I think I did it one other time. So I switched back to the same. Here, let's go ahead and I'll show you the 3-star that I've been able to get more consistency with. I think I'm going to call a day. But basically, it's still taking advantage of these things in the base. So this aspect here is very good for a queen walk, queen warden walk in this case. The other thing about the base that's interesting is it's very spread in the middle. So, and it's on multi. So what I had switched to, as you notice, is I've got 6 giants now with the bowler, and that's to saturate the eye towers, give me a little extra time to kind of get in and get on the core of the base. That was the other big change that I did besides switching to bowler. And the reason why I think bowler's working better is that, with a spread base, as long as, one of the things I cut off was instead of trying to walk and make the turn and basically walk, I switched to more of a walk that's more about getting the CC out and dealing with the CC and getting some stuff out. So you'll see how I'll just take it out here, I'll trigger, then it'll come back over, and I'll take the CC out, and then shortly thereafter I'm diving with the goal of penetrating off this wall point right here. So I'm switching to more of a go to the middle type, and some of it will leak over, but a good chunk of the bowlers, the king with the rage is what will push through and give me separation from the back team. So then the bowlers are deployed behind with the giants. They're slower. King on rage, his team will take forward, and then that little gap will get the rest of the guys to jump. And I've done this I think 3 or 4 times now, but we're up around 100 iterations. So I'm pretty sure this is the best, but I'd be curious if you guys have comments on better. So all that said, let's take a look at the attack. One of the other things I noticed is always separate your deployment if you're going in with a warden backer, because you don't want the warden to be taking damage. Also, where you engage the CC is important. A couple times when I engaged it and I had this archer tower on me, that was enough to just use the rage. The 2 poisons I'm saving mostly for internal skellies and the queen on the backside, if I remember. You'll see here the king rage to get the separation. Long pause, pausing, and then you deploy the tome, because we're really trying to get into a position to get through. And then we use our last rage on the other side. So just one jump, and then we just kind of beat our way out from the other side. And it leaves up one tower, typically in the iterations I've been doing. And I'd probably say it's about 60% 3-star rate, 50% 3-star rate when I do it right. Holding the 3 minions and 2 wizards till the very end, looking for where the queen's going to break through and help her clear up the stuff she's missing. And then at this point, I could have held back my wizards, but I was worried about time, so I dropped them there. And that archer tower as always kind of got a little sassy with me. But the other one got through pretty good and ended up clearing this outside track and getting it done. So I think that's it. I mean, it's really more of a penetration, but using the king rage to get the separation so that your other team, your trailing team, will go in. So it's almost like a queen walk team that then's augmented. So there's your queen coming in with it. And then your king kind of powers around and takes the corner while your giants provide the time, the buffer time against the internal stuff. So that was a fun one to try to figure out. I hope it helps you guys. And otherwise, I guess good luck in your wars, and we'll talk to you later.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. What? I like my horn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.